Y'all, I've told y'all some stories before, but this one, oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna make this one part. I'm just gonna have to hear this. So there's this girl, and she told me this story from when she used to live in Haiti when she was younger. Her dad was in the US, but she used to live with her mom and her siblings in Haiti. And they had this neighbor, this lady, and she called her auntie because her and her mom were like really close. Like if she wanted to, she can sleep over her house to play with her kids. Like they were that close. And so one day she went over to their house to sleep over at her auntie's house. And, she went over there, she was playing with her kids and everything. And then it was time for bed. And they were watching TV, waiting for themselves to fall asleep. And all of the other kids fell asleep except for her. Like, she couldn't sleep. And so she was just there watching TV. And at one point, she got thirsty. And at this point, she's thinking everybody is sleeping. So she goes to get her some water. And so she can go back to the living room. And since it was a sleepover, yes, they were sleeping in the living room. I used to do that too. We would all lay on the floor. It's so much more fun than you think. And so I don't know if you guys know, some of you guys may know, but the water is like the little packets of water. It's like a little plastic bag of water. So she goes to the kitchen, she goes to the cooler, she gets the water. And as she's about to go to the living room, she notices somebody standing in the doorway of her aunt's room. And she wasn't gonna really pay any mind to it because it's probably just her auntie, but it was just the way like the person was standing there. Eyes open, not blinking, staring into one corner of the house. And so she's like, "Hey auntie, I thought you were sleeping." And she didn't respond. So she's like, "Auntie, are you okay?" And at this point, she starts to be spooked out. And so she's like, you know what? She's a Haitian girl that grew up in Haiti. She knows better. She's like, I'm not going to question anything. I'm just going to go back. And if anything, my house is right next door and I will go home. And as she's about to walk away, she hears this. Which translates to, they're coming, they're coming. Tell your mom and dad that they're coming. Out of nowhere, she starts hearing drums to go along with what she's singing. She doesn't know where the drums are coming from. She just hears drums that's going along with her singing. And at this point, she's scared. Yeah, she's terrified. And before she knew it, she starts dancing. I mean like dancing. Like the whole... Mama, papa, and she's like all over the kitchen, dancing. So she runs to wake up the kids. She wakes up the kids. She's like, "Oh my God, something is happening to your mom. I don't know what's happening. Something's happening." And so the kids get up and they see their mom in the kitchen and they didn't even budge. They were just like, "Oh, that's just Giddy." And they tell her, "Oh, that's just the Lord that possesses her sometimes. The Lord that she serves, she'll be fine. Let's just go back to bed." She's like, "What do you mean? Do you not hear the drums?" And they're like, "Yeah, I just told you that's the Loa. So you just gotta ignore it. Let her do what she does and it'll be over sooner than later." And she's like, "Actually, I think I'm gonna go home." The kids are like, "Oh my gosh, stop being such a scaredy cat. She's not gonna do anything to you. Let's just go back to sleep." And they leave and they go back to sleep. Except she couldn't go back to sleep after that. Especially while the drums are still going, she is still dancing, and she goes to the kitchen, and y'all, at this point, their mom is naked, like completely naked, like birthday suit naked, dancing, singing. And at this point, she really wants to go home, but she wants to call her mom, but she doesn't have a phone. But her auntie has a phone, but she can't use her auntie's phone because her auntie currently is possessed by a loa. And she is not allowed to go outside by herself, even if it's to go next door. It's nighttime. It's Haiti. Like, she knows better. The kids aren't listening to her. The kids are just like, it's normal. This is normal. Y'all, at this point, she's screaming, dancing, and y'all know what she does? She goes in the kitchen. She gets the hot sauce. And if you know, it ain't no little hot sauce you get from the corner store. This is Haitian made hot sauce the peppers has been in that vinegar with the seasonings for months, probably. She gets the hot sauce. She sits on the floor. Mind you, she's butt naked. She opens her leg and she starts to pour the hot sauce on her vagina. Now, I have heard stories before when people catch loi, they catch gede, and they do that. Like, I've heard stories. My grandma has told me stories. I never actually saw it for myself with my own eyes. But when the girl told me that, I was like, oh my God, you experienced that? Like, I've heard stories, but I've never actually experienced it. This lady is pouring pure hot sauce on and in her vagina, y'all. And she doesn't feel a thing. She goes right back up to dancing like it was usual. And at this point, she said, fuck this, I'm going home. And so that's exactly what she did. She ran outside, she went next door, she was knocking on her barrière, which means her gate. And it took a while because there's the gate and then there's the actual house and the front door to the house. Her dad heard her knocking on the thing. He came out, opened the gate for her. She's terrified. She's crying. She's in tears at this point. And her dad is like, what happened? And she explained to her dad, like, what was happening. And her dad is like, oh, okay, well, let's just go to bed. We'll take care of this tomorrow. Come to find out, y'all, she does this all the time, for real, like the kid said. Even with the whole pouring the hot sauce on her vagina, she does this all the time. And she does not feel it after she does it, but she does feel it when the loi leaves. When it's just her, she feels that burn. That infection came. But at the same time, it's not her that was doing it. She pays for the price afterwards. Sometimes she'll even go to the hospital because of how bad it gets. And for some reason, she wasn't allowed to go over there anymore. Every time she would ask questions, like to her parents would never give her an explanation. But they were still close, like they still spoke and everything. Their parents still spoke. She just wasn't allowed to go over there anymore. So I'm assuming she wasn't supposed to see that. And her parents knew dang well what that lady was up to and what she was doing. But yeah, y'all, oh my God, like I've heard stories about this before, but when she told me that, I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, there's people out there pouring hot sauce in their vagina. If you like this story and you have your own crazy ass story that you want me to tell, go on my Instagram, make sure you're following me, send me the story as a voice message, and don't forget to click the link in the bio and get my merch. And of course, thank you to the ones that already ordered. I love you guys' support. I'm gonna have better merch coming soon, but I just want to see how you guys do with this one first before I start giving y'all the good stuff.
This is a 100% true story that happened to a woman in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, there was this woman named Sherry who moved into this house with her two children in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, she said, at the time she didn't believe in anything supernatural. She really thought that was a bunch of nonsense. But she said, right away when they moved in, she would notice, out of the corner of her eye, sometimes shadows moving across the walls. She would hear strange noises that she couldn't explain. But she said for the most part, it was just a normal house. One night, she's upstairs in her bedroom and she's folding laundry. She hears talking coming from her son's room. So she makes her way over to his room. The door's closed. And she hears her son having a full-on conversation with someone. And she's like, who is he talking to, at 12:30 at night? So she opens the door, and when she looks in his room, he is not in his bed. So she starts yelling for him. She looks down and sees him next to the side of his bed, on his knees, crouched down, with his head under the bed, talking to someone. And she's like, hey, who are you talking to? Like, who's under there? And her son's like, I can't tell you. And she said, what do you mean you can't tell me? Like, who's under the bed? And he's like, I can't say. He'll get mad. And she's like, what? Who's under there? So she runs over to the bed and she looks underneath there. It's empty. There's nothing under there. So she's like, you know what? Just get back in bed. Like, just stop, doing whatever you're doing. Several weeks pass, and on a regular basis, she keeps finding her son talking to someone under the bed, except there's no one there. So after a few weeks of this happening, she thinks maybe something is wrong with her son. So she takes him to this child therapist. The therapist assesses him and says, he seems completely fine. It's probably just his imagination. So several months pass, and he keeps on doing this. Well, one day she's sitting down in the living room with him, and they're talking, when she notices he has some scratches and bruises like all over his body. And she's like, where did you get those scratches and bruises from? Like, what's going on? And he's like, I can't say, I can't tell you. And she's like, yes, you have to tell me, like, what is going on with you? And finally he breaks down and he starts crying and stuff. And he just starts freaking out. And then he runs up to his room. So the mom, at this time is like, I don't know what to do. Like, what is going on with my son? Like, she's just panicking. Later that night, she's awoken to her son screaming in his bedroom. She runs as fast as she can. She goes in his room. She finds him halfway underneath the bed. He's grabbing onto the bed frame, and it looks like something is pulling him under the bed. So she immediately grabs him, pulls him out from under the bed. She looks under there. There's no one there. So she's like, you know what? This is weird. Like, you're sleeping with me tonight. You're going to be in bed with me tonight. So they go back to her bedroom. He lays down. He falls asleep. She's sitting in bed. She can't sleep. She's like freaked out about this whole situation. When all of a sudden she hears, shh, hey, come under the bed. And she's like, what? She looks over. Her son is sleeping. But then once again she hears, hey, come here under the bed. I need to talk to you. And it's like a man's voice. And she's like, no, who are you? Like, go away. And the man's like, come on, get under the bed. I need to tell you something. And like, she's like, no, I'm not going under the bed. And she said this man, whoever he was, just started yelling obscenities and getting really angry. So she grabs her son. They get out of the house. And she said she left that night and never went back. And still to this day, that house sits there. And she said she's talked to the neighbors. And they said since she's moved, like several families have lived there and they move out immediately.
This is an emergency call. There is a woman following behind me, and I think she might be trying to kill me. I was just at Chuck E. Cheese Pizza getting a couple pepperoni slices, and she walks into the bathroom as I was taking a pee, and she says, were you having pepperoni pizza? I said, yes, I was. What are you doing in here? And she goes, that's my absolute favorite. Why don't you go out to McDonald's with me, get a McFlurry, and we can see where the devil has his playground. And I go, I've got Thanksgiving dinner at my Aunt Rebecca's right now. And then I just got so mad because I realized it's New Year's Eve, not Thanksgiving. I knew she wouldn't buy it. And so I just go, excuse me, I have to leave now. And she just keeps following me and snorting. And it's just really, really nerve-wracking because I think she might be trying to kill me. I saw her take a bunch of plastic sporks from that Chuck E. Cheese. She's speaking some kind of gibberish back there. And I go, what is that? And she says it's French. I said, I haven't heard a single "oui" said once. Oh, God. Somebody please check in on me in about 24 hours. If I don't respond, please call the authorities. I don't know what road I'm on. It's tree-lined, and there are lights.
Can we show them the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a wedding full of people only to realize that these right here are not humans like us, and you're basically trapped in a room full of jinns. That's exactly what happened to this woman right here. Her name is Nora, aka the Beyonce of Kuwait. Yes, this story takes place in Kuwait, by the way. Nora was basically a famous singer there, okay? Her and her band used to sing traditional stuff in weddings. Another way to say it, she was like a celebrity there, okay? You call her for your marriage, she comes, she sings, and then she leaves with money. You're probably like, okay man, this sounds like an amazing job. I mean, imagine going to a marriage, having fun, people recognize you, people are a fan of you, and you get money for singing a couple of songs. No, it was amazing until a terrifying thing happened to her and made her quit her job and be traumatized forever. Now, before I tell you what happened, you know what to do. Save this video and come back to it at night so it's more enjoyable like that. But one day, Nora got a call. She was like, man, should I pick up? I don't really work today. You know what? Let's pick up the phone. Hello? Oh, the person calling her was a woman, okay? And she basically said, hello? Is this Nora? The famous Nora? Oh, Nora basically responded, oh yeah, thank you so much, that's me, the famous Nora, yeah. The woman on the phone basically said, oh my god, thank you so much for responding. Everybody loves you here. Can you please show up to my daughter's wedding tonight? This is when Nora responded, oh, I'm sorry, like, I don't work today. I'm really sorry. The woman on the phone started begging her, okay? She was like, please, this is my only daughter. Can you please show up tonight? She loves you so much. When Nora heard this from the woman calling, she was like, oh my God, these people are annoying. Okay, you know what? I'll make an exception for you. I want to see your daughter happy tonight. So, Nora ended up accepting, okay? The woman gave her the address and she told her to come, her and her band, at 10 p.m. Well, Nora and her band finally made it to the house at 10 p.m., okay? And before even entering, Nora was like, okay, I'm sorry, I did bring you here, but come on. I know that nobody works today, but we gotta do it for the love of the game. Her band basically responded, oh, come on, don't sweat it, Nora. You know, we want to make people happy, right? It's only a marriage after all, right? Nora and her band finally made it inside the house, and the first thing they noticed is that the house from the outside looks normal, right? But from the inside is something different. The house was really bigger than they expected, okay? And the decor was really noticeable, okay? Somebody did their job on the decor. You know, Nora and her band were amazed. They were like, wow, this is by far the biggest house we'll perform in. While the band was examining the inside, the woman came. Remember the woman who told her to come here in the first place? The woman who begged her to show up for her daughter, blah, blah, blah. Yes, she came. She was like, oh my God, Nora, I'm a big fan. And you know, she wanted to shake her hand. When Nora saw her, she was like, oh, what's up? How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. This is your daughter's wedding? Yeah, I'll tell you, it's about to be amazing. She shook her hand. Nora noticed something, okay? The woman's hand were dry, okay? And it was not moving. You know how humans' hand move? Her hand was not moving, and she could feel her bones. When she felt that, she started having a little doubt, okay? She was like, okay, I've never seen something like this before. I mean, okay, you know what? I'm not judging. And she was not trying to scare her band either. So she was like, okay, to the woman she was speaking, she was like, where do we perform? The woman responded, you see, we love you so much. We do appreciate you so much for coming. So we prepared everything. You do perform in that corner over there. You see it? Yeah. Oh, Nora responded, oh, okay, that's really sweet. You know, thank you so much. Yeah, let's go over there. Yeah, okay. See you there. In this corner right here, Nora and her band started performing, okay? And what a performance. Everybody was loving it. Everybody was shaking their heads, vibing like, Nora and her band, while singing, they were feeling the energy. They were like, yeah, okay, that's what we're talking about. That's the type of vibes we like. You know, See, while singing, Nora noticed a detail that she could have noticed from the beginning, but she didn't for a reason. It's almost like it was hidden from her. Why is everybody dressed in old clothes? Well, nobody was dressed in the typical wedding clothes of today, if you know what I mean. Everybody was dressed like the 17th century. So Nora was like, what the hell is going on? Nora told herself, okay, that's weird. You know, she kept singing. She was still giving some side eyes, but you know, she kept singing. I don't know the song she was singing. I wasn't there with her, but she was singing something like, I'm alone ashamed. What? I'm alone ashamed. Let me sing. See, meanwhile Nora was singing, one of her band members started tapping her shoulder. And you know, she's trying to communicate but sing at the same time. She was like, the band member who was trying to get her attention was the one playing guitar, okay? And he was like, look at their legs. Look at their legs. Nora was like, what do you mean their legs? Shape of, yeah. This is what Nora saw. Goat legs, and she understood that from the beginning she was not with humans. Yup, she's singing with jinns. You don't know what a jinn means, scary creature. I talked about him in my first post, go check it out. But when Nora saw this, she was in shock, but she kinda knew that something was wrong from the beginning, you know? Remember when she shook hands with the woman who invited her? Yup, in that moment she felt that something was not right. So Nora and her band kept performing, okay? They were not trying to get suspicious, but you know, their voices kept getting low, and they started thinking about this. Those are jinns, but they're in human forms. And you know, while thinking about this, they noticed something. It's midnight. One of her band members was like, hey yo, Nora, we should go. The vibe switched up, it's not the same anymore. These things right here are not even dancing, they're jumping and making weird noise. It's scaring me. You know, it's midnight, we should go. He said all that keeping his voice low. It doesn't matter because he's playing an instrument so nobody's hearing him. Problem is, in Nora's case, she can't talk, she's literally singing. And this is where she had to step up, talk to some of the jinns and told them that we should get a break. Oh, the woman who invited her in the first place, the jinn, came and she was like, Nora, I heard that you want a break, is that true? Nora basically responded, yeah, it's hot out here. And you know, we're kind of tired, so can we go in that room, please? Rest for about 5 to 10 minutes and then we'll come back. Jin basically responded, yeah, you can go. Now the band went to a small room, closed the door, and they're finally isolated from the rest. This is where Nora was like, nobody is getting out, I don't care. You see these creatures, they're turning crazy right now. It's past midnight, so they're turning crazy. Nobody's getting out unless you wanna Band members basically responded, bro, do you want us to be stuck here forever or what? We should get out. Nora basically responded, look, the woman invited me at 10 p.m., right? I don't think that's a coincidence. She invited me because she can only show up in this form at night. Look, what I'm trying to say is we pretend to be playing and singing until the sunrise. Once the sun rises, boom, we get out. We don't look back. Now, the band came back to the main room and they are forced to sing and play instruments. But things kept getting worse. Because some of the jinns not only started making weird noises and jumping, they started tearing their hair with a part of their scalp and throwing it down on the floor. Imagine the band playing, seeing, being forced to see all this stuff happening in front of them, but they can't do anything about it. Now, they kept playing for about 5 hours straight, and some of the band members started feeling sick and they started throwing up, after all they saw. As soon as the clock hit 4 a.m., meaning sunrise, every jinn stopped. They literally stopped moving. After that, they stopped moving, the lights started turning off, and the place started falling apart. This is where Nora was like, okay, this is our sign to go. After a long run in the hallways, they made it. They got out from the house. And this was the house. If you didn't notice anything yet, hold on. This was supposed to be the house they were in. This is what they saw at 10 p.m. This is where they left at 4 a.m. You see the difference? They left and they were all this time in an abandoned house. What happened is that the jinns basically gave them the illusion that they were in this house right here. So the bands kept running in the streets just to make sure that there is nobody after him. And after running for a while, they saw somebody. That somebody basically asked them, why the hell are y'all running? Is this a marathon? Or like, I don't. Nora and the band were like, whoa, don't talk to us. We know that you're a jinn. Stop talking to us. So that somebody basically responded and he was confused. He was like, what? What the hell are you all talking about? Nora and the band members realized that he's normal, he's a normal human being, and they were like, oh, okay, he's on our side, don't worry. They started explaining to him what happened to them in this house. After hearing their story, he said something crazy. He said that this house right here has been abandoned before even he was born.
Brujeria is real, black magic is real. I don't care if you guys believe in it, but I just know you don't believe in things until it's being done to you. Hi bitches, so I have another story time for you guys. So for today's story time, I'm gonna be telling you guys the time I had brujeria done on me. But before I fucking start, I'm gonna tell you guys something that... Anyways, I don't know if I'm having brujeria done on me or if this is just bad luck or coincidences, but a couple weeks ago I posted a video of me telling you guys that I was fucking dying because I caught a bad tooth infection. I was rushed to emergency room. I got put on antibiotics or whatever. Okay, not too long after I finished my antibiotics, I thought I was gonna fucking die again. And today I just started to feel like 100% better, but I caught the fucking flu, or I don't know what the fuck it was, but I was fucking dying. I was in my bed, and then on top of that, both my kids got sick. So I was dying, and my kids were fucking sick. You guys have no idea how it feels like to look after 2 sick kids and you being sick yourself. Like, I was fucking just going through it. I've been dealing with so many health issues. I don't even know what to do at this point. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, I'm gonna go straight into the story. Okay, so 2 years ago, I weighed 69 pounds, okay? Like every week, I was drastically losing 4 to 5 pounds, and I ended up weighing 69 pounds, okay? I was in and out of the fucking doctors, seeing different doctors, getting tests run, and every doctor would tell me the same thing. They had no idea why I was losing so much weight in so little time. And I honestly thought I was gonna die. I have pictures and stuff, but I just don't want to post it because I was so insecure. Like looking at my body, I was just so bony. I was just going through it, okay? Every doctor kept telling me the same thing, and I also ended up having a nutritionist, and honestly I stopped going because it was like the same thing that I would hear over and over every time I would go, like, you have to eat this, don't eat this, well, whatever. I kind of grew tired of like listening to the same shit because nobody was telling me what the fuck was wrong with me, right? I was obviously having so many tests done, and everybody kept telling me the same fucking thing. Like, they had no idea why I was losing weight drastically. But this is how I found out like I was having like brujeria done on me. So my parents ended up getting a second opinion. They know people in Mexico, and they were like, no, maybe like this is like brujeria because this is not normal. Like, doctors are telling you like the same fucking thing. No one's finding anything wrong with you. So we're gonna have to get a second opinion. At the time, I did believe in brujeria, but I didn't believe it was being done to me. I was like, no, like this is something else. Like maybe I caught something, or I don't know. I just thought like I was sick, right? Wrong. So we get a phone call from one of my uncles that live in Mexico, and they were telling me that the guy that they hired, my dad had to pay $300, right? to get cured. And around this time I was just like, you know what, like I don't believe in it. I don't believe that brujeria is being done to me. And the fact that this guy is asking for money, it just seems sketchy, right? Like I was just like, no, I think he's just trying to scam us, because like he's trying to profit out of whatever I'm going through. And so we were like, okay, like this seems sketch, right? Okay, anyways, yeah, we thought he was sketchy, whatever. He ends up calling my parents, and my parents answer, and this man is telling them things that only I know, and only things that I know that I was going through that I didn't tell my parents about it, you know, like my health issues. I don't want to say too much just in case, because whatever I was fucking going through at the time was fucking scary, and I don't want to relive that. But anyways, this man was saying so much shit that only I knew, and this is like when I was like, oh my god, like this shit is legit, like this shit might be legit, like maybe brujeria is being done to me, right? And he was just basically telling me like someone that he didn't know who, but someone was doing like evil things like to me. Not long after my parents gave in, they gave this man the money. He started praying every day for like, I don't know if it was like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I don't remember exactly what he did. I'll have to ask my parents about that. But not long after that, I'm not even joking, I started gaining weight. I started feeling way better. I want to insert pictures, but maybe like in another, like maybe another time, because I don't know. I saw like my body like drastically lose weight. I started feeling so insecure. I started wearing like oversized t-shirts, sweats, like every single day during the summer. Like I didn't give a fuck, okay, because I was just so insecure. Like I couldn't believe like my body was like dying. But yeah, so that's like how I know like brujeria was being done to me, because the things that this man was telling me that they were doing to me, like evil things, I genuinely was so scared. I was like, oh my god, like at first I didn't believe in it. Like I did believe in brujeria, but I didn't really believe in it, like until like hasta que te pasa a ti, ahí es donde vas a creer. Like this shit is real, guys, okay? Brujeria is real, black magic is real. I don't care if you guys believe in it, but I just know like you don't believe in things until it's being done to you. And that's dead ass what my case was. I didn't believe in brujeria that much until things were being done to me. And to this day, I don't know who was doing brujeria to me.
What the fuck was that? Bro,
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen. Did the window break?
Remember how I be telling y'all, if you hear somebody knocking on your door, or you hear somebody's voice but no one is home, never open the door? Scary story time. And this story this time is actually not my dad's story, it's my friend's story. She's also Haitian, and she wanted to share her story with you guys. So when her family was supposed to come to this country, coming from Haiti, they kept it a secret. And this is actually a common thing, because even with me too, when I was coming, it was an absolute secret. Nobody knew but me, my dad, and my grandma, and my uncle. And my uncle was a pastor. Well, is a pastor. But the reason for that is people are jealous, and people will do anything to stop you from where you need to be. When they see you prospering and it's not them, I've seen it happen so many times in Haiti. Anyway, so that was the case for her and her family. At the time, it was her and her brother. And when I tell y'all, it was an absolute secret. Nobody knew they were coming to America but the people living in their house. It was literally top secret, which is why it was shocking to her mom when she got a phone call from a church member. Mind y'all, they weren't even that close. Like that church member, it's not like they were like best friends. It was just somebody they went to church with, and she actually lived very far too. Now, there was this lady that they knew, that everybody knew was a lugau, but it wasn't their business, you feel me? Like that's the lady's problem. That's her, she do her. Anyway, so the mom gets a phone call from the church member, and the church member tells her mom, I had a dream, and I know that you guys are leaving. You guys are going to America, but so-and-so, the lady that's a lugau, does not like that. And she has something planned for y'all so that it does not happen. Mind y'all, they don't even know how the lugau lady found out that they're leaving. But, I mean, you know, lugau. The church member tells her from her dream that she was told to tell her mom these instructions. First one is, of course, make sure that nobody else finds out. The second one was there was this uniform they used to wear to church for Saturday services. She tells them to keep that uniform and all of their clothes that they're going to wear until the day that they leave, and make sure that nobody touches those clothes. And the last thing that she told her to do was that the car that was supposed to transport them to the airport change it. Absolutely change it. So they did all of that. They prayed, they followed directions and stuff like that, and everything worked out well. They got here thinking it was over, but woo, was it far from over.